Hey, Chris Peck here. Take a walk with me for a minute. This is Grant Avenue in Novato, California, the town where I grew up. I'm here today to visit Watts Music, the place where my record buying journey began. Founded by Ken Watts in 1979 and taken over by my friend and mentor Darin Chace in the late 90s, this shop has kept pace with a changing music landscape and a changing town, thanks in large part to Darin's sensitivity to his customers and his ability to keep a solid crew of knowledgeable employees together for long stretches of time. Darin and his whole staff did a lot to get me started, both as a listener and as a musician. So let's talk with him now about his experience of working at Watts Music and later owning the place for 25 years and counting. Okay, so Darin from Watts Music.
Hi.
It's great to be here. Thanks for making time for this.
Thanks for having me.
I have known you since I was 9 or 10.
Little kid.
Here.
I know.
When did you start working at Watts?
I started in 91 when I was 22. I used to come in before that, though. I've told the story a million times. I used to ride my bike from Balmoral Keys.
Wow.
To here, which was no easy task. And but I had a job before I started working here, and I lost it. So I came into the store one day and was like, well, I don't think I could be a good customer anymore because I just lost my job unless you can hire me. And so...
and was it Ken Watt?
No, Watts. Tim. I talked to Tim Watts.
Okay.
The mom and dad were, Ken was kind of after hours doing the orders and going to the warehouses to buy stuff. And Carol probably had another job by then. The boys were running the store then because I worked with them I started working Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I lived in Bodega Bay at the time because I lost my job. I actually had 22 years old, had to move back home. I had to move back in with mom and dad at 22. So I commuted from Bodega down here on Friday morning and then would crash on my buddy's couch on Friday night, Saturday night, and then leave Sunday after work and go back to Bodega.
It was the whole lifestyle.
It was very cool. That was a lot of fun. Sleeping on a couch at my buddy's house was a lot of fun. A lot of stuff I can't talk about.
On.
At 22, you
for sure, rock and roll.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, I remember Tim, you, and Kevin.
Yeah.
And was Kevin also a son of the Watts?
Yeah, Kevin Watts. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Kevin, so I'm 54 almost now. So Tim's a couple years older than me, and Tim's a couple years older than me, and Kevin's a couple years maybe younger than me. So, yeah. And then Gary started working here, too. Do you remember Gary with the really long hair?
I do.
The singer? Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All you guys gave me a lot of guidance about what to listen to.
That's what we're supposed to do.
How to wash a rock and roll t-shirt without taking the graphics off. How to trim your hair so it grows faster.
Oh, wow.
All this rock and roll mentorship.
Yeah.
Along the way.
Yeah. That's what any store should try to do, is impart wisdom and knowledge. It's not just the internet that should teach you now.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
So you were an employee first.
Yeah.
And then you went away from Watts for a decade or so, didn't you?
Yeah. I've never been away.
Okay.
I've been in the building since 91.
Continuous. Wow.
Continuous, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, part-time. I mean, I started out part-time. I think at the least amount I worked was maybe 3 days.
Okay.
I think 3 days was the least I worked, but no, I never took a sabbatical or took time away from the store.
Okay.
No, I've been in the building since 91.
I guess it was just me who was gone.
Or you came in on the days I maybe wasn't here. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's becoming a blur to me and surreal because it's been so long now. It's almost like a TV show that I kind of remember. But no, I've been here the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've seen different people come and go. We've had lots of different people work here over the years. No, actually, I shouldn't say lots, but a few, and two of the guys are still here.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Andrew, the new guy, at 14 years.
Wow.
I know.
That's amazing.
I know. Yeah.
And Jesse Pinsky, there's a good crew here.
And
now.
Jess is like, I've lost track, 17, 18 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was 15. I hired him at 15.
Wow, long running.
To work Jesse organized all our 31,000 posters.
Well, that says something about how people feel working here if they stay that long.
Yeah, very lucky. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a real tribe.
yeah, yeah.
And when did you take over Watts Music?
97 or 99. I always lose track.
Mm-hmm.
So like around 97 or
Mm-hmm.
so, I think.
I noticed after you took over the shop that there was definitely a fresh feeling to the store. What were some of the things you aimed to change in your first years of owning Watts Music?
To bring it up to new standards, new clientele,
Mm-hmm.
but to still respect and honor the past, which had worked so well too. So
Mm-hmm.
so having the old school way of doing things, still pen and paper, still knowing the inventory in our mind,
Yeah.
not a computer,
Yeah.
still the customer service. Just modernizing though, the getting rid of the older inventory. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of the inventory was stagnant. It was just it
Uh-huh.
had stagnant. The town was changing too. We weren't the just heavy metal or country town. Novato kind of
Right.
was. It was changing, and it's really changed a lot lately. But you kind of have to listen and see the people come in and be aware of what they want. You always build your store around your clientele, not
Mm-hmm.
your store, and you hope the clientele comes to you. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to build your store around your clientele. So if
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden the clientele wants country music again, guess what? We'll be a country store again.
Sure.
So yeah.
And you're always asking and watching.
Yeah. And I'm always reading. I'm always studying on whatever bands are cool right now, whatever young people are asking for. Obviously,
Sure.
vinyl has been massive for years and years now, 15 years. So, but yeah, just I wanted to modernize the store a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but still honor the past.
Mm-hmm.
With the cassettes everywhere and the posters up on the wall and the 1,000-year-old carpet here, and
Sure.
yeah, I wanted that funkiness also. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Good. We need the funk.
Yeah, absolutely. Otherwise, you're just a boring corporate store, and we all know how well those have lasted.
Yeah, right.
They're all gone.
It's the indie shops
Yeah, yeah,
that persevere.
yeah.
And okay, talking about perseverance, who are, do you think, some of the best-selling albums or artists in the whole history of Watts?
Well, the one I've constantly talk about is Fleetwood Mac Rumors.
Uh-huh.
That album is hands down the biggest selling album we've ever had here because of it's almost like the Eagles' greatest hits album is the biggest selling album ever in the history of recorded music. It doesn't stop selling. There's trends and fads and things come and go, but that album has never not sold. It just keeps selling, and it appeals to everybody. That's the thing. So it appeals to men and women, and it appeals to 8 to 80 year olds. So there are other albums that come and are hot for 6 months, a year if you're lucky. Now it's even less, but that album by far is continually seller. Adele will be one of those artists too that will sell
Wow.
forever too.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, but there's always the Black Album by Metallica, AC/DC, Bob Marley Legend. There's Carole King is really taken off again too. So, but Fleetwood Mac Rumors is by far,
Hmm.
yeah,
Now, I remember once you told me that Nuclear Rabbit
yeah,
was a huge seller
the boys,
in the
yeah,
shop. Could you
yeah.
talk a little bit about Nuclear Rabbit and
So
who they
yeah,
were?
yeah. What's just an amazing band. Anybody that doesn't know who Nuclear Rabbit is, just if you, blender rock, I call it. Just take every genre of music and throw it in a blender and just hit that button. Mr. Bungle. So if people know who Mr. Bungle is, they might understand a little bit then. But Nuclear Rabbit was just a local band. So of course we loved them because of being Novato, but they were just so unique. And Gene is just a monster bass player, and Pat, all those guys are just incredible. And they were our band. They were Novato's. Arguably maybe one of the biggest selling bands in Novato, and we were selling their cassette, and that's all they had. They didn't have vinyl. They hadn't moved into CDs yet, and we loved them, and they were always gigging. They were always playing the Phoenix Theater and anywhere, I'm sure, local, and then of course in the city and stuff. But they were our band. They were Novato's band. The people that of a certain age knew. So, and some
Yes.
some people are catching on to who they are now too.
Yes.
So yeah, but just an amazing.
I bought one of their cassettes here as a kid. Bowling for Midgets.
Bowling for Midgets. Yeah.
Kind of orange
Yeah,
cover.
of course.
On the
Yeah.
cassette.
That had the Metallica song on the first 100 copies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Until they were stopped, huh?
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know anything about that.
And what do you estimate with the Nuclear Rabbit cassette? Do you think they sold hundreds of
Hundreds.
just through the shop
Oh,
here?
yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, this was before the internet, so, the only way you could get them maybe would be at their shows, or maybe there would be a mail order. I think you could mail, money to Gene, and he'd mail them to you. So, yeah, so it was either just mail order or maybe at their shows, and then here, so people knew to kind of come in here. And we just buy them from the band. We would just call them up and say, hey, we need... drop off 20 more tapes or whatever. So yeah, it was great.
What about now? Do you still stock Nuclear Rabbit?
The CDs are out of print now. The label that put them out is gone under. So
wow.
If they come in used, we'll obviously buy them. But they don't come in. I've got mine, and I'm not getting rid of mine.
Okay, so they may be a cult collector's item.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Wow.
No, I tagged them a long time ago on one of our Instagram posts, and I still get people reaching out to me like, is this for sale? Is this for sale? Because I just showed my personal collection, and people were asking me are any of these for sale? So yeah, there's definitely a demand, a cult demand for them. So,
That's a very cool history that is definitely connected to this shop.
Yeah, Nuclear Rabbit was a very, very cool band. Went to one of their last shows I think they might have ever done at the Phoenix. I lost track 10 years ago or something.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, definitely a band to check in with if you haven't heard them before, people.
Nuclear Rabbit.
Okay, so I'd like to pivot and ask you about the new generation coming in the shop.
Yeah.
What's one thing you'd like for young folks to know about your shop and about record buying in general?
Good question. We are here to always help. We want to talk to people in here. Don't be afraid. You don't need to back up. You don't need to be, why does this guy want to talk to me? That's what you do in a record store. We walk up and we talk to you. Can I help you?
Yeah.
So, you always want to, some people want to, there's two types of people that come in. Some people want to have a list, and they're here for just this. And if we have it, great. If we don't, then oh well. And other people want to do what you're kind of supposed to do at a record store is, you kind of forget about everything when you come into these four walls, and you just kind of lose track of time, and you just flip through everything. And that's kind of what you should do, is not have 7 minutes in between things. And I've got 7 minutes to kill, so I want to come into the record store. Is you want to come in here and actually just flip and just enjoy.
Yes.
Because that's what a record store is made for, is to do that. And bookstores, and there are certain places that, it shouldn't be a task. It shouldn't be anything that's, has to get done today. It should be a joy. It should be where you forget about all the horribleness going on in the world.
Sure.
And just these four walls are very safe for people. I've purposely made that.
Right on.
Yeah, because I want it to be safe for me, and I want to forget about everything else that's going on in the world when I'm in here.
Right.
So yeah.
Little church of rock and roll and other musics.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And if you were going to describe to you the difference between finding music on your phone, on a streaming platform, and finding music and connecting with it in hard copies, how would you describe that difference, or many differences?
I might not be the person to ask, because I don't stream music.
Right on.
I think it would be kind of hypocritical. Andrew does. Andrew streams in here, but I play records and CDs when I'm in here. I don't stream music. So I don't want to be the angry guy, old guy now that's like, oh, this internet's killing everything. Spotify actually has helped broaden a lot of people's taste on music. So we have people coming in asking for a variety of stuff. And I always talk about the person that comes in and puts Slayer and Barbra Streisand on the counter. And it's like, good for you, man. That's awesome. Yeah. And it's because of maybe Spotify, because of that. I don't know that algorithm, it could reach each other. But people are very, very open-minded to music now. When I was a kid, you either like Madonna or Motorhead. You couldn't like both. So now kids, and because of the internet and streaming, people can find out about every band there is, just about, and know about it, and then come in here and pick up a copy. And people want that. The majority of people, they want to stream the music, and then they want the physical vinyl. So if they like enough of it on the internet, they'll come and buy the vinyl from us.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good both and attitude.
Yeah, no, it's nice. The technology has actually helped move artists. A lot of times it's an artist though that might not be on. The negative is sometimes their stuff isn't physically made on vinyl though.
Oh wow.
Something that's streamed. Somebody will come in and it won't be available. Now, maybe down the line, sometimes it takes up to a year now to get the vinyl physically made.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sure.
Yeah.
And by the time you get home after a long day in the shop, do you mostly just rest your ears, or do you like to also listen to music at home?
What do you think the last thing I want to do when I get home is?
Yeah, okay, put on a record. Or,
Yeah. I hate to say that. Most people are so surprised by that until I turn it around and go, "What do you do for a living?"
Right.
Do you want to do that when you get home? Or
Right.
on the weekends?
Yeah, from 11 to 7, almost 7 days a week, often.
Yeah. I love it. And it took a long time for me to do that. For years, I would always play music, especially when I was a different person, let's say, years ago. I would definitely like to play music when I got home, louder and different types of music. But I'm a different person now. I don't want to play music as much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, this has been awesome to just dip into the history with you a little bit. I feel like I have one last question for you.
Yeah.
Who are some artists right now that are at large that have whose albums have come through the shop that you're pretty excited about?
There's a lot, man. I mean, as of today, there's so many cliches in the movie High Fidelity that movie is my life. That movie mirrors my life. And there's a scene in that, where it's like, today, you want my top 5 for today. But right now, the Chili Peppers album is killing it. I love it. The new Jack White. S. Carey is this new guy that is absolutely amazing. New Florence and the Machine. Dying to hear the Kendrick album tomorrow. I'll be playing that tomorrow when it drops.
Oh, wow.
The CD comes out. The digital's out already. The streaming's out already. The physical CD is tomorrow. And then the vinyl's probably like 6 months from now. So I'm going to play the Kendrick tomorrow. I'm dying. I'll play that in the store.
All right. You might see me tomorrow.
I can't wait to get it. So, but it changes all the time. There's so many good albums that come out all the time. That's why we have 48 or 49 number one albums a year now out of a 52-week year. So there's a lot of good albums that still come out. I'm excited for Def Leppard and, bands from my era dropping albums still. So,
sure.
So, there's always something good. I try to be very current with the bands. And a lot of good new young girls coming out too that are still great. Olivia Rodrigo and Billie Eilish's album. So in addition to some of the older artists putting out stuff. So I always try to stay current with all these people.
Well, I continue to discover new artists thanks to your shop.
We always should.
Coming in here and looking in the new releases box, I'm still finding stuff. So thanks for being the music cultural hub that you are here.
Yeah.
Thanks for making some time for this interview.
I gotta. It's all I know to do now. So I've been in it more than I've been out of it. So we gotta make it to our 50th here. So,
yeah, man. Long live music, long live Watts.
Thank you.
All right. Until next time.
There we go.